Me queda 1% y lo usaré solo para decirte lo mucho que lo siento. Que si me ven con otra en una disco solo es perdiendo el tiempo. Baby, pa' que te miento. Eso de que me vieron feliz no es cierto. Ya nada me hace reír, solo cuando veo las fotos y los videos que tengo de ti. Salí con otra para olvidarte y tenía el perfume que te gusta a ti. Prendo para irme a dormir, porque duermo mejor si sueño que estás aquí. Si supieras que te escribí, te he mandado los mensajes, siguen todos ahí. Mucho me ha costado, quizás te hice un favor cuando me fui de tu lado. Borracho viendo tus fotos, me duele ver que tú seas mejorado. No tienes días grises, ya no te duelen las cicatrices. Y yo pensando si decirte que me queda 1% y lo usaré solo para decirte lo mucho que lo siento. Que si me ven con otra en una disco solo es perdiendo el tiempo. Baby, pa' que te miento. Eso de que me vieron feliz no es cierto.
Ay, hace tiempo no pensaba en ti, borracho de tu Insta me metí. Baby, ya sé que a ti te va bien, que de mí tú no quieres saber. Ay, viviendo en un infierno que ya mismo incendia, jugando contigo como si fuese el día. Siento que ya no estoy en tu corazón, ahora estoy en tus pies, rogándote, en el tequila ahogándome. Las muchachas están invitándome a salir, la paso bien, pero siempre termino extrañándote, en el tequila ahogándome. Ey, las morritas testeándome, ey, que donde la peda hoy, pero me quedo 1%. Y lo usaré solo para decirte lo mucho que lo siento. Que si me ven con otra en una disco solo perdiendo el tiempo. Baby, pa' que te miento. Eso de que me vieron feliz no es cierto.
Y eso es Grupo Frontera y el compa Bad Bunny.
like a melody. Listen while you talk when you're fast asleep. You stay on the phone just to hear me breathe. On repeat. ¿Quién lo diría? Que se podía hacer el amor por telepatía. La luna está llena, mi cama vacía, lo que yo te haría. Si te estuviera de frente y la mente te la volaría. De noche de día, de noche de día.
What up, guys? All right, let's get into it. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for the patience. I wanted to get a couple things here set up, and then for whatever reason, my connection is just dog shit. I don't understand why. Bandwidth, blah, blah, blah. So figuring out some of that as well. But more than anything, hello. How goes it? I got the jammies. Sheesh. More people hit TPs this week. I believe so. I think we had a really good week in here. What's up, Carlos? ¿Qué tal, Manuel? James, what's up, PJ? Switzerland in the house. Amy, Mimi, what up? William, ¿cómo estás? Buenos días, Bogotá, Colombia. This is Clutch. I thought you was traveling today. I am traveling today. Later today, we're traveling. Gabriel, what's good? Yeah, we're going out to Portugal, then Italy, and then Barcelona that's what we're doing the next couple weeks. What up, Joe? Omar, Hello, hello. Happy Friday. Buenos dias a todos. Lovely tunes. Thank you. Hope everyone's doing well. Absolutely. Woke up to a beautiful 3R on NAS. Nice. What up, James? Corey, hope your travels were well. Trying to set up an Awanda account. Yeah, regulated. All currencies right there for you. Mike Burton, welcome back, man. Haven't seen you in a bit. Maxie, what up? Seth, Greg, hello. Brandon, Daniel Rivera, good to see you on. Rosemary, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Buenos días. We got 8-Figure Trader representing Netherlands in here. Karen, Michael, Top Stop is still bugging. Is it? I didn't notice anything. Yeah, I haven't but I haven't traded also. I'm just logged in. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing there. Safe travels. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you. Buenas tardes, David. Thanks, Corey. Thanks, Sol Dolce. I'm from Portugal. Yeah, we'll be there for like a day. Took a 1-3 shakeout. Set up this morning on Dow. US 30. Nice. Saeed, what's up? What up, Ruben? All right, guys. So let's get after it. Let's have an incredible session. Let me know what the stream is like, and then if it starts to lag or anything, let me know. I'm not really sure why it is what it is. Maybe it's Spotify or something. We'll see. But anyways, right now we had, and I went over this with the Syndicate yesterday. Yesterday we have our implementation lab, and we went over these Asian session, the meltdown, and we had a nice mitigation out of Dow and out of NASDAQ. So NASDAQ ends up coming down to these levels. So yeah, let me know in the chat if you ended up taking the lower time frame buy over here. Since the indices were dropping pretty aggressively, the setup to take was Dow because it was lagging behind. So the original entry, and we got the original mitigation with Dow Jones. And then Nas is more bullish. I don't think that's true. I think Dow was definitely, Dow was playing into this structure while NASDAQ was bleeding below on the original move. Then, however, this is the part where it gets interesting. But when the market got into the zone, so when we end up seeing Dow and NASDAQ get to the key levels, once we saw the price action unfold over here, this is where we started to see that shift in momentum, and we saw that NASDAQ was more bullish on the smaller time frame. And this is where if you looked for a shakeout setup, then yes, NASDAQ was the better trade and did give incredible opportunities here. And the reason we can qualify the setup here is because we saw the higher time frame sweep of liquidity. So for example, when the market sweeps down here, we see it clear basically the majority of the retail buying liquidity that played out. So once liquidity is swept there, and then we see the quick move to the upside, this is where you see the market immediately come back up. Shows us that the market doesn't really want to trade down here. And then we see the typical break, the retest. So this lures in more retail sellers, lures in sellers here. Here's where you had your NASDAQ shakeout buy. Price action was more bullish with NQ. And so the secondary setup here, you had the move back to the upside. So this here, I took the mitigation on Dow, and then I took the shakeout on NASDAQ, and then rode up this move to the upside. So locked in some nice trades here. Secured a bit more. The Syndicate, what in the world is that? The Syndicate is basically where we have... for all the people that are, I'd say, a bit more intermediate, advanced in trading, and they're looking for really hands-on work, working on the psychological, emotional regulation aspect, having a bulletproof trading system and then working on the financial side of trading, we basically have like a 1-year program where we're diving into everything. And if you really want to learn more in the Tradetopia community, free community, here you can just click on this link. You guys can actually learn a lot about it here. So if you go to tradetopia.pro/syndicate enrollment, you guys can kind of see what it's all about. I'll drop it here in the chat. And you guys can go ahead and check this out. Yeah, it's really hands-on. We get together 3 times a week on top of that, and then we have an accountability system in our private community. So just to give you guys a brief, quick, and I'll get to the trading. I won't let this take too much time. So like yesterday we had our session. You'll see people post. I'm not going to share their stuff because it's pretty transparent and a lot of quality accountability. But yeah, you go through 4 phases here over the course of a year, and there is a vault focusing on resetting the subconscious and the pre-programming, scaling your capital, working on data, proof, precision, scaling, mastering your capital, and then a couple other big things. But I want to get to the markets here a little bit faster, so I'll get into that. I'll just drop the link so you guys can check it out on your own time. So let me drop it in the chat. Learn more about the syndicate here. There you go. I'll pin it to the top. So with the market doing this, here's where you get the buys, and then you're able to take this into imbalance, take your profits at key structure levels. And we see that Dow ran out of gas, and same thing with NASDAQ. Here we had a key, if you look at structure, the pullback, the continuation, these tend to be key levels for reversals. So when the market got to here, looks like that was enough of an imbalance fill for then the market to continue. Same thing with Dow. So we have we have New York open in 3 minutes. And now what we want to know is, okay, so what can we expect for today? What can we expect for today? So, with indices, NASDAQ basically does a little pump up here before it drops, pumps up again, and then it drops. So we are relatively bearish with NASDAQ here, and I do want to show what we have going on over here. So between the both of these, sells look more effective with Dow, right? Dow here got below the Asian session lows. It got below New York. This is the Tokyo low right there. So we broke below here. We create a London session high up here, London session low down here. So we have all of this set in stone. The market's moving relatively efficiently here to the downside. And we see like our last little pump to the upside here before the market keeps going down. So we do have some pretty decent movement so far. I don't really know why it's like that. Seth showed me just sessions, like a little sessions indicator, so I don't have to write this down. Makes it a lot easier for me. I have to add it to here still, but that's okay. So anyways, here we have that high, and then if you look at New York or NASDAQ here, you have the same move to the upside before it all drops, except that on the way down it's been way less aggressive, whereas Dow is making lower lows, so sells look more likely, whereas NASDAQ is not. NASDAQ, on the other hand, is basically making equal lows right here. So I am a bit more cautious with buys right now. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit more. Because we're already seeing liquidity here. Maybe we poke our way under here and we see a different type of setup. That would be fine. Or despite all of the bullish movement that we had, every time we did work our way higher, we are also losing momentum. So it just looks like the highs that we were establishing on NASDAQ are kind of running out of gas. So if we do work our way higher, maybe we go and we can trade up into this range. So sells look like they're better suited for Dow Jones than they are NASDAQ. So if I'm going to look to sell, I would say here we had Asian session make that pump up and then it all drops. And I think we can take out these highs and go play it over here. So I would want to see maybe a short somewhere over here for Dow. Obviously, that means that we have a lot of room to roll, right? So what can we do on the way up? Can we take a buy position, see this go higher before it drops? So right now with New York Open, we're seeing a lot of movement coming into the market here. Same thing right now. Look at NASDAQ starting to absolutely rip. So this is gunning for, this is already targeting those London session highs that we saw build up here. Here we see the Asian session highs as well. So I'm going to imagine we're going to see NASDAQ clear these highs at some point during New York Open. I'm not looking to sell this here yet or anything like that. Maybe I could see Dow want to maybe sell out of here. We have the London highs at this area. Yeah, maybe we could see that. The area, but it just doesn't clear tons of liquidity. So I would we have a higher probability selling up in this range by a long shot. So as of now, basically what we saw happen is we're seeing volume come in. We're clearing tons of London session sellers. I don't think NASDAQ's going to hold this for very long. I'm going to imagine we get up to here. And depending on how the market's looking at this moment, I would say that we can, maybe you see a rejection out of here. Like I'm saying, it's not a lot of liquidity here. So it'll move up, sure. And then it just works its way down. And then even then we have more equal highs, more liquidity over here. So I'm not in love with it. I would much rather trade out of yesterday's highs up in this range. Dow traded aggressively up into this level, already losing a lot of momentum. For me, and this is what I like to remind you guys all the time, it's not about catching every little move. It's not about just catching the open. It's about being able to catch your move, catch the one that you have data, you have back tested, you have a lot of evidence with. Right now, it's just not really giving me that setup in particular. So NASDAQ did reject the London Open and mitigated this. Wasn't my trade to take by any means, so I feel nothing for not being involved in this trade. It's just irrelevant to me. The question is, how do you feel about the trade? How do you feel about the markets? Is it causing, some type of FOMO for you? Oh, I knew it was going to happen. These moves. I had an idea it could happen, but it's not my entry. And I'm a big believer that winning the wrong way is way more damaging than missing out on a trade. You just build the wrong habits. What's up, Juan? Joe said, best decision you'll make. Syndicate? Yeah, that's right. PJ James said the same thing. Life-changing. That's love, y'all. Caught Dow longs. Fire. Good stuff, Brandon. NASDAQ cleared Thursday's Asian low, whereas Dow hadn't, so when it did, it reversed to the shake-up. Exactly, Brandon. Good call, man. Facts. Buenos dias. Ready to learn. Crush it. Okay. So, that's basically it right now. I'm going to stay on the lookout here with this. We'll see what happens. Dow did pump really aggressively, clearing this area, trading up into here. But this basically makes more liquidity. So despite the market absolutely ripping and then instantly dropping. Despite all of this, it's not really my type of trade at all. I do see a little dip right here, and then the market continues. But like I mentioned earlier, this to me looks like liquidity. So we're just in a range, and in this range, I would prefer just not to be involved at all. So I'm okay with however the market wants to continue. No chance of me trading in here for now. Now let's move on. Let's move on from indices, at least for now. Let's go take a look at a couple other things. We saw metals go crazy. Silver. I'm still holding a silver buy from here. So this one's ripping for me. It's a small position. It's a very small position. I'm like 5% of my trade is open. But it's adding up, though. I'll tell you what. Because right now, this trade right here, for me, is up like almost, I think, a 20R. Yeah, about a 20R. So a 20R at a 0.5 is, I'm up like 1R on a very, very small position. It's actually pretty sick. And if you remember, you can go back to, I think it was, what was it? We were trading over here last week or 2 weeks ago, maybe. I said like, yo, I think, actually, I have a post. I have a post in here. Hold on. Where is this? Oh, this is in the Syndicate. Hold on. I talked about like, is this metals lows? I'm almost positive I have this here. Are we seeing higher time frame lows for metals? Divergence with the gold. Gold rebalanced May 20th price action. Silver mitigated Tuesday's New York open. Powell speaking. Swept in traded liquidity. Do you see the play? Did you take it? I'm still holding this trade. I'm still holding this. 11 days ago. A higher time frame lows for metals. Just so y'all and here's the thing. I'm not saying this to stroke my ego. It's so that you can build conviction behind these types of things. So that's the whole point behind something like this, is so that you have that sort of awareness and you build confidence on what you see in the market. That's kind of the whole point. Mad, LOL. It's duplicatable. Okay, so we're seeing Dow now clear a lot of a lot of this choppiness, and it's done more of this now. See more liquidity building up. Very nice. What I would want to see with NASDAQ, because I want to take a buy with NQ, but what I want to see is maybe it clearing the lows for London session, because this is the London session low right here. So I'm going to place an alert right there. If it clears London session lows and we could see a shakeout, then maybe we can have a trade. So maybe we go into here, maybe we go lower. I'm not really sure yet. And then we can kind of see a little bit more. So maybe we get something like this. And then we let this thing rip. We'll see. I'll have alerts here set up, because right now we're going to see a clearance of all that. Okay, anyways, silver going crazy. If you look at that, we're not trading at all-time highs on silver, or anything like that. Silver's all-time highs are like in the 40s from a very long time ago. But we're seeing a lot of movement across the board. Gold gonna work its way up to these levels. We have an open massive pump before it's sold off. So I'm gonna hold my silver buy until we get to gold trading up here. This may take a couple more weeks, maybe the rest of July, and maybe even longer, maybe going into August. So I'm gonna hold this. On the bright side too, if you look at, actually I have to pull it up because it does change. So if you're trading CFDs, you do pay a swap, or there is a swap fee going into a new trading day. However, it's not always a loss. Sometimes you can make money holding a trade. So it kind of goes back and forth. Right now, I'm a little slight commissions, but nothing too crazy. But anyways, gonna keep holding this right now. I don't have any like plays for this. No entries. No, I'm not looking to sell anything here. Gold is moving at a slower pace to the upside, or it was. Now it's starting to slow down. It's kind of starting to take over, as you can see here. So at the moment, I'm not looking to take any positions. I do see something interesting here, which is how gold does pump way up into here and then it shorts. So we getting above these highs. So gold getting above Wednesday's last Wednesdays from last week. We might start seeing some shorts over here. Maybe that happens today. And then it looks like there could be something in this range. However, since gold is trading a lot more bullish, I'm going to just be mindful with selling anything. Silver's starting to slow down. So you see how it's still kind of trading in the same range here. And then gold is already making higher highs. So I'll take a look at what happens once we get a little bit higher. Yo, guys, appreciate you on. We got people pulling in. If y'all hitting the like button, good stuff. Subscribe. Make sure you got the notifications on and all that good stuff. Updates here. We're seeing Dow start to clear the low here. The liquidity that it just built a few minutes ago. And then it's looking like it's going to take out this London low here in a bit. Meanwhile, we're seeing NASDAQ slowly work its way lower. Now, before I move on to a different asset class, I do want to say I do still have this zone marked up from Dow from around Wednesday. This was Wednesday, like right before London session opened. So I wonder if we work our way out to here. Curious. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. We'll see. Okay. So metals, nothing immediate. So nothing, time sensitive. Who's got the crown right now? Puccini, number one. I feel like Puccini he owns the chat crown. He stays locked in. All right, so despite USD/JPY giving a nice move, we saw about 140 pips in our favor. It did end up coming back. So I did end up getting stop profited on this one for like half hour. So it's all right. No new entries for me. No new setups for me. I'm okay with this. Yes, there's a nice dip below and then it continues. But, we can take a look at a couple other things. USD/CHF, unfortunately, just didn't tag us in. This might be something that it comes back to later. So maybe next week we look at something like this. Let me start to set up the trades for today, though. Tradetopia. Trades. July 11, 2025. Today is a cool day. And I'll tell you what. Also, guys, Nancy's birthday is in 1 week. So, if you want to show her some love, birthday week starts now. Birthday month. But today's a cool day because the person who got me into trading, Tim Sloma, it's his birthday today. So if you know Tim, send him some love. He got me into trading about 10 years ago, just about 10 years ago. And, yeah, man, grateful for that guy. Dude changed my life. So it's a special day. Now, with indices, I'm just going to put the chart here. I kind of want to see if we take liquidity and then what that does for NQ. So I'm going to just add that there. All right, indices. Bias for today. I want to see Dow take London session liquidity and below. Meanwhile, that should drop NASDAQ as well. If we see the liquidity sweep If we see the liquidity sweep and then a loss of demand, we could be in the market for a buy on NQ. Stay tuned. Okay. All right. So we'll kick it off with this. Obviously, you guys know I add on to this throughout the session, so we'll have that there. And yesterday, guys, hey, how many of you guys hit take profit on the peso? If you're trading futures, it ended up closing futures prop firms. It ends up closing somewhere around here. And then if you were trading CFDs, yeah, this just perfectly took me out in profit right there. Like we literally nailed the high of this one. And then yesterday's Indices trades also hit take profit. So good stuff, guys. Fucking killed it. Peso definitely paid out. Yeah. Made 1R. Nice. All right. Perfect. There you go. Just like that. Dog. Ooh, hold on. Talk dirty to me. Dog's pumping. Come on now. 005. Let's go. Guys, we're almost up 100% since the last entry I gave you guys. And it's up 4x since the lows from April. Fire. All right, anyways. Dow Jones clearing the lows. Look at this. Obliterating all of this. NASDAQ holding up pretty well. This is a good sign. Doesn't mean I'm going to buy yet, but this is a good sign that if we go below, whether it's here, maybe it's lower, doesn't really matter to me. And then once we see the loss of demand, so whether after it drops to wherever it's going to drop, then we see it pull back up, then in a pullback, I would take the entry. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for. As of right now, holding it off. Look at this Dow just bleeding. More than likely, we see a play out of here. That's my opinion, obviously. Merely an opinion. All right, let's go. Dog doing his thing. Does that mean that Bitcoin's pumping again? Bitcoin 117? No, this has nothing to do with Bitcoin. Just alts doing alt things. Is it ETH pumping? No? Okay, cool. Just an independent dog pump. We love it. This is what we like to wake up. You know what's funny? I said dog and then Nas pulled up. I don't know if Nance and I have officially decided, but whenever we get another dog, we're going to name the dog D-O-G. 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 Okay. Anyways. Just a little hyped because, when your bags pump, you gotta be grateful. So UCAD dropped down, and we had a news event about an hour 15 ago. So dropped down, came back up. Looks like it basically mitigated out of this zone. So not too bad. Not a trade I'd take. NZD USD, we're still waiting on shorts for this from earlier in the week. Same thing here with GU, not an official trade. Doesn't really leave a setup. Euro USD starting to build up again some more. And then we have AUD USD holding up structure really well, way over there. Our next kid is going to be named Ripple. Yeah, that's wild. So GU. So yeah, right now with majors, it's kind of a mess in my opinion. Like obviously the dollar was losing some strength here, caused the market to pump a bit. I don't really like the market with majors at all. This is just not clear to me. A lot of consolidation, a lot of ranging. So we're chilling, big chilling. Yeah, Nancy and I said that our next kid would be named after the crypto that makes us the most money this cycle. So it looks like it's going to be, kid's name's going to be Dog. Okay, so check us out. Ooh, okay. Dow, big sweep, big pump, sweeps London lows, clears Wednesdays, so getting into New York session over here. Okay, so not too bad. Simultaneously, we're seeing, so at the same time, we're seeing NASDAQ push down into here. Okay. And then ripping now at a way more aggressive pace than Dow itself. If we can hold some demand here or even get higher highs, then I'm down for a buy. Okay. So look at that. Dow it's moving up. All right. It's, slow and steady. Nowhere near as aggressively as NASDAQ. So now I do think we're seeing potentially, I want to see how this keeps playing, how this keeps trading. Potentially we can get a buy on NQ and then ride this thing out, right off into the sunset. Looks like the push down that I talked about, that I was like, hey guys, I'm not going to take it because there's liquidity right here. Yeah, I guess, fuck whatever I said. Because it didn't matter apparently. We'll see though. Obviously, if this just kind of immediately drops again, then we might want to see Dow might want to just push lower. So let's see. And what I'm curious about is what was the motive? What did we just have happen? So must have been something tariffs related. I don't see anything yet. Okay. That's fine. Took US 30 sniper entry out of the imbalance. Nice, well done. Ripple steel hands, savage. All right, some of you are asking about oil. We can look at oil. I'm gonna set an alert if we start to work our way down to here. Kind of want to see, and if we clear these highs. I am an alert enthusiast. I'm honest. I think I go overboard more than anything. So yeah, the majors, the dollar pairs, it just doesn't. I'm not seeing anything worthwhile right now at all. Metal, same thing. Let's look at oil. So the oil buys did end up playing out. It didn't trigger me in, but it did mitigate. And then now we're in an oil sell zone. So this is good. This is already did its thing. It just missed my entry, unfortunately. And then right now we are seeing oil start to drop off. It took out this liquidity right here by a little bit, just a tiny bit here. So right now we're seeing the sweep of this. I'm not as interested in here yet. I would rather take the trade a little bit higher. And then I wouldn't say we left liquidity here, but it is pretty close. Structure-wise, though, we are seeing lower highs, lower lows. So it does look like, and we can zoom out a little bit more. Let's take a big picture look at this. So this is where we're at with the market. So gap up to here, then we drop. Okay, some point I'm sure we'll get to this area. We work all the way down. So we make lower lows on the 4 hour. Great. At some point I do think we go even lower. Do we work our way up though into this imbalance? Definitely a possibility. Most definitely a possibility here. From there, now we mark up a little more. We play out of this range. So as soon as we work our way down, we get back over here. At the top, barely poking above. This is giving good old distribution vibes. With this setup now, do I think we can short? Yes. The question is, where to? How far can we take a setup like this? What's the risk reward? I think a trade around here, I see the value. We've seen the market reverse from here. Some key reversals over here constantly. So you kind of have a couple of different zones, but this is where I think we have a good probability. If it's going to come up again. Maybe it just reverses from here. I'm not going to chase this, though. I want a better risk reward. And then the last move that we see really is a sell here and then the rally. You see the market do the following. Support, support, support. Dips down here during London session. So we have the London session low right there. Right over here. Market rallies. So in reality, it looks like we have this area here that it functions as this liquidity sweep. So this right here sweeps liquidity. Takes out retail buyers, market rallies, get higher highs again. Fantastic. So somewhere in here, the market more than likely is going to reverse. So approaching this zone here. I think it'll go closer to where we've seen these lows. So we've seen some good support right over here. So probably take the buy like right over here. So is this worth it? 2.5R? Yeah, I'm down. Wouldn't be mad about it. Then could take a buy over here. Let's desaturate this a little bit. It's a little too much for me. Okay. So then we can get an entry here, and then we may be able to ride this out to clear more of these highs. But that's a conversation for a different time. So right now, yes, I'm still open to this if it does go higher. If it doesn't, and if it keeps dropping, then it is what it is. So the thing is, this pumped up like 90 pips. So if this does drop, if this just keeps dropping and dropping into the zone, then I'm chilling. Then I'll have to delete the order. All right, so here we go. Yo, that looks fire. All right, guys, I'm not gonna lie. The new collection just came in, and it looks fucking sick. Did you get the different samples? Ooh, y'all want a sneak preview? Nah, y'all ain't gonna get no sneak preview. Nah. That looks so crazy. How much is a micro contract on oil? A micro contract on oil. Oh, like the cost of it. So it's gonna be the following: a micro on oil. Hold on, MCCL. It's 100. So if you're making a template, yeah, put 100 in there. Yeah, 100. All right, so this might keep dropping though. So we'll see what happens there. I'll be buying the hat next week. Damn, why not? I don't know. It's $1 per tick. All right. All right, right now that's doing its thing. NQ just took out the high. Peep this. Boom. Clearing this right now. So it is looking like we're getting some pretty good confirmation for a buy later on. We had this, talked about this, but this liquidity was throwing me off. I didn't feel enough. This was kind of invalid. Well, it was for sure invalidating the buy. So I didn't love it. But once we saw this happening, that was a pretty good sign. I'm curious to see if there is even going to be a mitigation out of here. I'm not going to take shorts yet. I think Dow is going to play up into this London session high first. So I'm curious to see where we're at with NASDAQ by the time that Dow makes it up to here. Right now, what we would want to see is some demand. We want to see whether it's trading here or whatever. Maybe it goes higher. I don't know. We'll see. And then eventually, if it comes back down today, then we can take that. Sometimes you just don't get the entry on your timeline, and then you just have to wait. But what you don't want to do is force a trade because you feel like you're missing out on movement. This might go straight down. If it does, that kind of does change the dynamic of this trade. I'm longing NQ from fair value gap. From here? In here somewhere? Or from here? What price you looking at? Let's look at this chart here. No, not this one. Yeah, I was going to unpin this. That's why. And then I was going to pin this. Pin to feed. Yeah, and if you guys have charts, hey, drop them in here. Remember, when you level up in the community, you do get access to different things. And actually, you know what? I'm going to do something here. I'm going to make a new... I'm going to make something for reaching level 7. Something very cool. United Health Group. Something about investing into United Health Group. Just I'm not interested in it because they're just fucking shit. But could it play out? Yeah. I think this looks like a shakeout, so looks like it could play out. I'm not interested in this, but I understand why you would be. Thoughts on GU buy? What's up, Tony? Nice. Yeah. Okay, this is a good markup. We had marked that up a bit ago, a while back. The only downside to GU buy, at least for the way I look at the market, is GU is the most bearish out of all the majors. So that same move, Euro is way up here. Odd USD is way up here. So that's like the only thing that I'm not liking is that GU is just so bearish relative to everything else. I would want us to find a way into GU shorts. That would be ideal. Yeah. And remember, you level up in the community by, making posts, when people like your comments or your posts. And then remember, once you hit a 30-day streak in a community, you get a badass little what's it called? Fire emoji, which makes you obviously special and it gives you trading superpowers. So you definitely want that. Just bought EuroCAD. Let's see what you got on EuroCAD. Just bought EuroCAD, like right now? Why? I don't get it, but your entry model must be different than what I do. Okay. From there, let's see any updates with the peso. Right now, I don't have any new ideas with Mexican peso. We made our money, and now we just let it do its thing. So if we get anything else there, we'll check. We'll take a look at it. Sol ripping 166. ETH chilling around that 3,000 price level. Big psychological level. People were just fundamentals are very bullish, and other buys lower if we get pushed down. What's your stop look like? What's your risk exposure with trading that high? Are you at a fixed stop loss? Do you give yourself wiggle room? Are you trading? Fundamentals. Remember, fundamentals are just the excuse for market to move. Dog at 5-1. We got to take out these highs, yeah? We might see a little bit of traffic with the dog here, considering we've already played out of the structure level. Curious if we're going to just play out of this here right now. Saw it pump and then drop. Otherwise, there's quite a bit of liquidity here, so we might just go straight to 600 microcap or market cap. Yeah, we might just honestly blast through this 600, and if that doesn't hold, then we're going straight to like 7. Bitcoin chilling around 118. Sick, almost at 119 today. Beautiful. Yeah, crypto's overall looking nice. Let's see, who are the winners and the losers for the day? Biggest winners, look at that. XRP, nice little pump today. Hey. Giovanni must be pretty happy. Virtual's doing its thing. Injective finally pushing. All right, nice. Ski was going so hard that it's down like 3%, which is kind of expected. All right, cool. Cool. Stocks. Let's do a little update on stocks here. Biggest loser on at least here, Delta. Kind of makes sense. Had a huge gap yesterday. Intel, a little bit of a drop. Nothing crazy. And then the winners for the day. AMC, 10% pump. Nice. This is a good old meme coin. The meme stocks. Meme stocks here doing some work. Consolidation. I actually forgot to check in on this. This was a pretty predictable move. These are kind of annoying though, because they'll squeeze for a super long time and then you'll get a massive pump. So if you're ever in like the meme stocks like AMC and GameStop, whenever you see just a massive pump, just take your money, dude. Take your money and be at peace. Chewy here, chilling in the range. I'm gonna shoot for with this. Like I like to cycle stocks, especially if considering that we've seen all-time highs. On like we're seeing stock market basically at all-time highs. So when you have like a divergence where you have ones that are, for example, we've seen a pullback on this of 20% or so. So when everything else is at all-time highs or near all-time highs, and then we have pullbacks like this, yeah, I like to take advantage of nice little moves. This filling the gap gets us about a 20% gain. Yeah, so this is I like to take advantage of these kinds of things. That's about it. Coinbase. Where's Coinbase? It's got to be going absolutely mental. Amazing. If you guys have been stacking Coinbase for the last few years with us, then obviously you are very, very happy. If you started to stack some with us during like last year, then right now Coinbase you should be up about 130% ish. So massive gains with Coinbase. Not gonna lie, I had a rough week because of all the trades that I would have been successful, but missed my limit by a hair. I got some good practice in when it comes to correlation with the majors. I think I leveled up. Honestly, that's more valuable than even having your trades trigger. If you're seeing the progression, like it's just gonna long term, it's more effective. You don't get the same dopamine hit, like, oh no, like I'm winning, I'm making money. Sure, but does it even matter if the trade triggered or not? If you're still in a acquisition of skills and you're learning about who you are as a trader, so I wouldn't really I wouldn't worry too much about trades not hitting. If you know you're also refining your strategy, you're identifying a lot more. Damn, I wanted to take this one. I was gonna share this one with you guys, but it didn't. This is here's a lesson for you guys. Sometimes it's not worth wanting a 3% drop to buy. Me wanting 3% more cost 75% growth. Fuck. Interesting. Cool. If you guys have any stocks or if you have any on your radar, let me know here. Did you see my text? Nah, bro, I'm literally streaming. How could I see your text? All right, let me see. I think my phone was off too. Let's see. All right, Corey, I will see if your message comes through here. Yeah, so if you guys have this, if you have any stocks that you want me to look at, let me know. Whether it's about exits, entries, thoughts, perspectives, I will let you know. Hey, Corey made it safely. I think that's the one. Nice, man. Glad to see you made it home. It was in the chat. Huh? Can you just drop it again? Y'all want a sneak peek? I don't know where Nancy went, so she'd have to come back. And I have to get my camera going. I'll do this. If I'll send you a sneak peek of the collection if you guys share. If you guys tag Tradetopia on your social media. Anyone that tags Tradetopia on their social media will get a sneak peek of the collection. Also, if you invite someone into the community, you'll get a sneak peek to the collection as well. So if you guys didn't know, you can invite anyone into this community. It's free. It's literally for whoever. All right. Now, I'm going to wrap up here in a little bit. NAS is looking pretty good for the buy. So keep this one on your radar. I'm going to send an updated entry here for NQ. So here it was. What time did I post this? 28 minutes ago? We'll say this is like 8:40 or something. So we'll say I'll put 08:40 a.m. CST. We had this. And then all right. I guess you don't really have to put AM here if we're doing military time here. All right, so indices looking too long. NASDAQ proving it's more bullish than Dow. Demand seems strong for bullish continuation. Waiting for retracement into mitigation zone. promo. No free promo. Well, I just sent it to. I don't need to say, you're crazy. What if we do both? Yo, Mike, quick question, brother. For someone that is like new to investing and trading, would you recommend diversity or just focus on one, invest/trade? Of course, after you get educated. Well, okay, those are like two different things, though. So if you're gonna invest, so if you want to get into investing, you know what? I just realized this. I've never thought about making a investing, like, education, because trading and investing, they are different. I don't know why I never thought about that. But yeah, if you're gonna get into investing, I think it's more important to understand like I would say like your timeline, your expectations with investing in general. Diversity, I wouldn't go too diverse. Honestly, I would probably focus on maybe like 3 to 5 investments top, whether it's stocks or whether it's crypto. I think it's more valuable for you to understand like what you're investing into and the technical aspect of things as well. That's, I think, a lot more valuable than anything. With trading, I think you should focus on a limited amount of assets and then on something that is high rep count. So, for example, I think indices are great to learn how to trade because you get a lot of setups. Yes, it happens fast, but when you're learning how to trade for the first time, you don't even know what fast is. You don't have any belief systems. You don't know anything. So you're just trading. So I would say if you're new, if you're going to get into trading, like, you're putting on your brothers, or someone new, focus on learning the expectations, the mindset of a trader, the psychology of what it takes, and 2, the rep count. That's why I have here in the classroom the Trader's Launchpad. This one is like for anyone. This is designed for anyone that's new. And then it's the proper structure of how I think you should learn from zero. I wouldn't say this is like everything you need to know because I don't teach like how many pips are and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that's important. And then for investing, expectations I think is valuable. Learning how to find not so much like it's not just price, but it's attention. So yeah, I would say you want a more narrowed down focus, and you also have to figure out if, as an investor, how hands-on are you going to be? So if you understand technicals, then you have a huge advantage as an investor, and I think you are able to cycle in way more. Like if you have trading as a skill, then investing, I think you have a massive advantage. I would add that you also have to select, like be very conscious about your investing timeline. So, and because you can do both. Like I have investments that I'm running a 20, 30 year plan with. And then I have investments that are like a Chewy where it's like, all right, cool, I'll catch 20%, and then I'll keep that as liquidity to then move around. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully that gives you at least some perspective. But that did give me an idea. I think in investing, just in general, investing education videos would be really valuable, especially because just because you know how to trade, that doesn't really mean you know how to invest. And vice versa. They are kind of two different things, and I do think you kind of have to wear different hats when doing that. And it doesn't really happen just naturally. Safe travels, guys. Thank you, Nora. Appreciate you. See you when we get back. Think I'll set up that Top Step account this week. Gonna do more research on the prop firm stuff too. I didn't even know about those until you told me. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, there's a few. I would say like the ones that I think have the easiest user interface is probably Top Step. However, like yeah, just learn the space. Like, remember, like, they're gonna bill you every month if you don't automatically cancel it. Yesterday they had some weird glitches, but they did make up for it, which is cool. Apex, like, you're more closer trading to, like, you're using Tradevate or things like that. I do have the futures going from CFDs to futures video dropping soon, so you guys, that will be extremely useful to everybody in regards to getting into prop firms and just futures in general. And yeah, you can take a look at those too. My funded futures. You have a couple other ones. If you guys ever want more information and just want to do better research, propfirmmatch.com is a pretty cool website. These guys, you can go into CFDs and futures, and you kind of like see their Trustpilot. I think they have like discounts and stuff like that too. But yeah, these guys here, you can kind of do your research, see what makes sense to you and everything. Like, they have like ratings and where they're from, how long they've been operating for, etc. How did they make up for it yesterday? I didn't trade, but saw a lot of noise. They just basically, if you lost during the window that it was glitching, they just gave it back to everyone. So it's glitching. Back on now? It's dropping frames. Okay. I think this is roughly going to be back. So let's see. Basically, yeah, I think it should be good. All right, yeah, much better. Investment vids. I wanted to ask how you go about researching the companies you invest in. For example, you suggested we research some solar companies. A one-on-one how we would do that. Perfect. Does anyone still use Funny Pips? Yeah, I think Funny Pips is solid. Well, our boy here, Brandon, just got paid out from them. I haven't used them in a while. It's been a minute for me, but I never had an issue with them. Payouts were fine. Cool. Well, guys, I'm going to wrap up there. Appreciate all of you for being on here, hanging out, getting tons of value, trading. You guys should have had a very good week this week. Of course, sometimes they don't happen. Check out the collection, guys. If you haven't checked out the tees or the hats, like, I know you guys are going to love them. Some of you guys are getting them. Our distributor for our hats is low-key going to get fired because they were supposed to start shipping like a week ago, and they didn't. So that's totally on us, guys. We'll go ahead and give you we'll hook you guys up for the wait, but we'll have a little something for y'all. And then if you guys do want to go hang out with us, trade together, basically have an epic adventure in Colombia, Cartagena, then check out the experience there. You guys are going to love it. And then, again, anyone that tagged Tradetopia on social invites people into the community. We'll go ahead and give you guys a sneak preview into what we got going on next. But yeah, we'll continue going. We have a lot of things working in the back end, and we're excited to show you guys some very, very interesting things here that we have going on. But much love to you guys. Any questions, anything you want, any follow-ups on ideas, just go ahead, drop a post in here so that myself or any of the admins can give you our perspective. And even in the community itself, got a lot that we're going to be doing here. And then expect some more Zoom calls here throughout the next couple of weeks for the community itself. whether you're in the syndicate or not. And then, of course, if you guys are down to, really have a more hands-on approach with your trading, and like you really want high level of accountability, work on the psychology, the technical systems, and the financial side of trading, then check out the syndicate. Click the link that's pinned, and hopefully you guys have everything you need to keep striving, moving forward. And remember, regardless of where you're at in your situation financially, keep on pressing with this. This is a skill that would definitely can do so much for you. You just don't have to rush it. So keep showing up, keep plugging in, put in the practice. Don't worry about, am I profitable or not yet? Just do all the right things. Things will start to fall in line, all right? So just because it's not happening on the timeline that you want it to, doesn't mean it's not going to happen. So appreciate you guys. Much love, and I will see you next week. Despite being out and traveling and stuff, I'll definitely still be streaming, and we'll be doing more while we're here. So might not be every day, but we'll do our best here to be active with you guys and definitely in the community. So take care, guys, and we will see you next week. Peace.